I'm Jenna, and today I'm going to be sharing with you the 7 popular book series I haven't read yet. Most of these books are very, very popular on BookTube or just sort of in the world in general, and I haven't read them yet for various reasons, some being I didn't know they existed until I started BookTube, others is I did know they existed, I just never really got around to reading them. So these are sort of 7 of the most popular book series that are out at the moment that I really want to get on top of, but I don't know when I'm going to get around to it. Also, these books are in no particular order. So the first popular book series that I have not yet read is the Outlander series by Diana Gabaldon. So I don't even have a physical copy of this book, I'm so far behind, and not only have I not read the book, I haven't even seen the show. On BookTube, everyone's always singing, "Sing me a song of a lass, something something," and I don't even know what that is. I'm assuming it's a theme song to the TV show. I don't know, I have no clue. So I don't know a lot about this book. All I really know is it's about a girl from the 1940s I think, who ends up going back in time to Scotland and something, and there's someone called Jamie Fraser and people die. I don't know. I honestly have no clue, but everyone raves about this book series and the TV show, so that is 2 things that I will definitely be getting on at some point in the near future. The second popular book series that I have not yet read is the Song of Ice and Fire series, starting with Game of Thrones. So obviously I do watch this TV show. I think it's an incredible show. It's so good. I cannot wait for series 7 to come out. Can't believe the show's almost over. But the reason I haven't sort of read the books is because I know that the books are very different to the show and I don't really want to get mixed messages about what's going on. Plus the books are really, really long and they're really like dense as well with some of the language that's used. So I'm kind of saving this for when the show is finished. And also I don't like the idea of having to wait like 7 years for a new book. I think that's how long we've been waiting for Winds of Winter. I'm not really sure, but I don't like the idea of waiting that long. Like I can wait a year or 2 for a book, but waiting anything more than that is just ridiculous. The third popular book series I haven't read yet is the Infernal Devices by Cassandra Clare. So I've read the Mortal Instruments series. I have not read Lady Midnight, and I have not read Bane Chronicles, and I have not read the Infernal Devices trilogy. And I actually have a reason for this one, so buckle in. So believe it or not, the first book that I got from this series was Clockwork Angel, which is the first in the series, and then the second book I got was Clockwork Princess. So I wasn't even going to think about starting the series until I had finally bought Clockwork Prince. So I was not aware that you needed to read the Infernal Devices trilogy before you read City of Heavenly Fire. So I did a reread of the Mortal Instruments series before City of Heavenly Fire came out, and then I read City of Heavenly Fire, and it turns out there are spoilers to Clockwork Princess in City of Heavenly Fire. So now I know how Clockwork Princess kind of ends. You know, I spoiled it for myself, so I don't really have a huge urge to read this series, but I know that I should because everyone says this series is just really amazing, and I know there's a sequel to this series coming out, and I don't want to read Lady Midnight until I've read this series, so I haven't yet read Lady Midnight, so I'm just getting further and further behind in the Shadowhunters series. So these books have been on my TBR for like years. I will get to them eventually. The fourth popular book series I haven't read, and yet another one I don't have any physical copies of, is the Lunar Chronicles. So this is a series that I only found out about when I first started BookTube. So that was only a couple of months ago. Oh, I don't even know when I started BookTube, let's be real. But I've heard everyone talking about the Lunar Chronicles. They say that they're really incredible. They say that winter was one of their favourite reads of whatever year it came out. I think it was last year. Don't really know. And I do think it sounds like an interesting series. Every time I go to the bookstore and I see it there and I'm like, I should pick that up, and then I remember I have all these other series and all these other books on my shelf that I really need to read first, and so I don't end up buying them, and I haven't read them yet. Don't really have an excuse, I just haven't done it. The fifth popular book series I haven't read is the Heroes of Olympus series. Now, I actually have a really, really good reason for not yet having read the Heroes of Olympus series, and it's not just that I don't have a physical copy of it. The reason I have not yet read the Heroes of Olympus series is because the sixth popular book series I haven't read yet is the Percy Jackson and the Olympians series. This is another one that I see everyone talking about on BookTube. They're always, in all the tags, they're like, I pick Percy for this, or I pick someone else for this, and I'm like, I don't know who these characters are. I mean, I've seen the Lightning Thief movie and I've seen the Sea of Monsters movie, and they were pretty okay. So obviously I like the franchise and I want to read the books, but I don't know. I think it's because I was in a bit of a reading slump for quite a few years, and that, let's be real, that's probably not when these books came out, but obviously they're just books that I never really picked up, and then I got into the reading slump, so I never sort of kept going. But now I finally have this book and it is on my TBR list, but I don't really like reading books that I don't have the full series of if the full series is out. So I'm probably gonna have to wait until I buy all of the Olympians books and then all of the Heroes of Olympus books and then Trials of Apollo as well, because this is another series that just keeps going and I'm so far behind. And the seventh popular popular book series I haven't read yet is probably actually the most shameful one. I keep being attacked about this on Twitter. Thank you very much to Lynette and Casey for telling me that I need to read this series. I know I have to read it, I just haven't gotten around to it yet, and that series is the Throne of Glass series. I have literally no reason for not having read this series yet. None at all. The worst part is I have actually met Sarah. So last year at Supernova when I met Lynette, I also met Sarah and she was there, and the line for Sarah was really long and everyone had like these 4 books and they're like, oh, we're getting these books signed, and there were all these Throne of Glass books, and I'm like, I have no idea what this Throne of Glass series is, and I saw she had, you know, the new Court of Thorns and Roses series, so I bought that one instead, and I've read that and I really love that series, so I know I'm going to enjoy this one. But I think one of the reasons I'm not reading it yet is because I know I'm really close to the end, so I'm not sure if I should bother waiting now until Empire of Storms and whatever next year's book is out as well, so I can just sort of read it all at once. But I'm also really intimidated by this book simply because there's so much hype about it. Everyone's telling me that it's such an incredible series, and the last time I read a book that everyone told me was incredible and that I'd love it, I ended up hating. I don't want to hate the Throne of Glass series because everyone says it's so amazing, and I do think I would enjoy it, but I'm really afraid that I'm gonna hate it now, so thank you very much everyone for that. But I will read it eventually. It is on my TBR list for the sort of before the end of the year, but I don't know if I'm gonna like it, which is really scary. So there you go, those are the 7 popular book series I haven't read yet. I'm ashamed to say that I haven't read some of them, but at the same time I have read some book series that other people haven't that I've found incredible, so I feel like I'm kind of doing okay. And it's not like I'm saying that I'm never going to read these series. Like, I want to read all of these series, it's just a matter of finding the time to read them, especially because I have to read so many books and plays for university now that I just don't have as much time as I would like to read books. Then of course with these series, they're quite old series, there are new books coming out, and I'm still coming up with excuses, aren't I? Yeah, okay. I promise I will read these books eventually, and I will watch the Outlander TV show at some point. I just don't know when that some point is going to be. If you like this video, be sure to give it a huge thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss a thing. So random. Bye.